We now need to conduct a pre-operational check on the forklift truck. I preferably like to start on the front of the machine, and it's commonly known as the once walk around, where you walk all the way around the machine and check all the parts as you go. You end up back in one spot and you know that you're not going to miss anything. So starting at the front of the machine, I like to check the fork arms first. Firstly, the security, make sure that they're locked in and they're not going to slide along the bridge. Check the condition of the fork arms. Check that there's no cracks on the heels. Also the condition, make sure there's no burrs and also they're not bent. Have a good look underneath the front of the machine. Check for any oil leaks. We can better check that once we get on and conduct a pre-start check, where we get on, move the machine backwards, checking our brakes. We can have a better look then. Check the side shift cylinder. Check the seals for no leaks, the connection points, and no leaks on the hoses. We then check the load guard. Some people call this a backrest. We check the security on all 4 bolts and the structure, all the welds, no damage. We then check the tension on the chain. Make sure that they've got even tension and there's not one that's too loose. Check the hoses, the hydraulic hoses, for any oil leaking down them or any damage. Where the chains come up over the pulleys, make sure that they come down and that there's locking nuts on each side. With the main lifting cylinder, check for no oil leaks coming out of the seal. Moving up to the mast, check warning decals. Check down inside where the rollers are. There's no debris and that those rollers are going to travel freely up inside. The hoses inside the mast, that they go over the pulleys, and the condition of the hoses, there's no oil leaks coming down those. Moving around, we come to the outside of the mast and we check the welds, the structure. There's no cracks in them. We check the lifting cylinders, the secondary lifting cylinders. There's no oil leaks coming out of the seals. Also it's security and the hoses coming down over these pulleys, down to these connection points and right down in behind the mast. Whilst we're here, we check the tilt cylinder. Again, no leaks around any of the seals, the security, and also the keeper plates. They are well greased. Moving down to the front wheel, these are pneumatic tyres, so we're checking the correct pressure on all 4 tyres. We also check the wheel nuts, that none are loose. On other machines, you will find solid rubber tyres, and on those tyres, you're checking for big chunks, splits, uneven wear, but with these ones, it's the pressure. With the footstep, make sure it's free from debris, not going to slip on it, nice and clean. With the overhead guard, checking the structure, no cracks in the welds, all the way down. On the overhead guard and on both sides, we have mirrors, checking that they're nice and clean, not cracked. The condition of the blinkers and the headlights. Moving down inside the machine here, we check the tilt rams where they come through, that there's no oil leaks on the connection points, the keeper plates are there, well greased, no damage. On all pedals, we check that the rubbers are on the pedals. Moving up to the seat, we check the security of the seat and also the seat belt, that it actually locks. Coming over the top of the overhead guard here, we've got the dust filter. We've got the brake lights, we've got our flashing light and also the other light on this side. For any damage, no cracks. We then check the back wheel. Again, checking the condition, good pressure, wheel nuts are all secure. Nice even wear. Staying at the back of the machine, we can have a good look underneath the machine for any oil leaks. We check down up inside here, the counterweight bolt, that it's nice and secure. With the gas bottle, we check firstly that it's secure, that it's in date. We then turn the gas on, 1.5 turns only. We can smell or listen for any gas leaks. We also check that there's gas in the bottle. Another important thing is to check the hoses and the connection points on that gas system. Coming back down to the rear tyre, exactly like the other side, we check even wear, check the wheel nuts, no big chunks out of the tyre or cracks if they were solid rubber. Checking the overhead guard on this side for its structure. Checking the controls, there's no major movements in them, and also the control decals on top, which control is what. Very important to check the data plate. Firstly, it needs to be attached and it needs to be legible. If we have a look down inside this area, we'll find the installation for the gas system on this machine, and it's been installed properly. One of the last things we check is the tyre. Again, just like the other side, we check each wheel nut for security, the tyre for its condition, and as we checked on the other side, we do check the tilt cylinder, again for its any leaks, the connection points, keeper plates, all the hoses and connection points on this side, security of this cylinder, no leaks, the condition of the mast. And that brings us round back to the front of the machine where we started and completes the pre-operational checks. The next thing we need to move on to is we need to open up the hood and actually check the liquid levels on this machine and oil levels.